Have you ever really thought about what happens the second you turn out the lights? I mean, what's really going on in your head? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain on, one of the most mysterious and essential parts of our lives. So let's just dive right into the science of your brain's secret nightly journey.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a classic mystery. Picture this. Your friend tells you that their brother was sleepwalking, just wandering around the house in the middle of the night. What's the first thing you think, right? He must have been acting out some crazy dream. But is that what's actually happening? We're gonna find out.
All right, so to solve this little puzzle, we've got to uncover the sleepwalker's secret. And you know that secret? It's hidden deep inside the very architecture of how we sleep.
See, the thing is, we don't just fall asleep. It's not like flipping an off switch. It's this really intricate journey. Your brain doesn't just power down. Nope, it travels through these complex cycles, these different stages, about 4 or 5 times every single night. And each one of those cycles is kind of like its own complete story.
So what do you say? Let's go on that journey together. We're going to follow your brain as it navigates the 2 main territories of the sleep world. You've probably heard of them, NREM and REM sleep. Okay, so the first part of the trip is this descent into what's called NREM, which stands for non-rapid eye movement sleep. You start off in stage 1, and this is that super light, am I even asleep kind of feeling? Then you drift down into stage 2, and finally you sink all the way into this deep, slow wave sleep of stage 3. And with each step down, your brain waves, your heart rate, your breathing, everything just gets slower and slower. This is your body's big chance for some serious physical restoration.
But then, after hitting the bottom of NREM, your brain does a total 180 and shoots up into a completely different state, REM sleep. And folks, this is where it gets weird. I mean, they call it paradoxical sleep for a good reason. Inside your head, your brain is on fire. It's as active as it is right now while you're listening to me. Your heart rate is up, your eyes are literally darting around. But on the outside, your major muscles are completely paralyzed. You are, for all intents and purposes, locked inside your own body.
So let's just break this down because it really shows these 2 totally opposite worlds. You've got NREM sleep, where your brain is slow and synchronized, but your body can still move around. Its main job? Physical restoration. Then you've got REM sleep. Your brain is going a mile a minute, totally active, but your body is paralyzed. Its job is all about mental consolidation. And this is the key part. REM is where you have those wild, vivid, story-like dreams.
Okay, so now that we know all that, let's go back to our sleepwalker, right? With what we've just learned about these 2 completely different worlds of sleep, can we solve the mystery now? I think we can.
And boom, here's the answer laid out plain and simple. We just learned that those vivid, action-packed dreams happen during REM sleep, right? The time when your body is paralyzed. So a sleepwalker literally cannot be acting out a dream. It's impossible. Sleepwalking actually happens during deep NREM stage 3. That's when your body can move, but your brain is in its slowest, least active state, capable of simple stuff like walking, but definitely not conscious dreaming. So mystery solved.
Okay, so we've covered the what happens on this nightly journey. But that begs a pretty big question. What's the point? I mean, why do we spend nearly a third of our entire lives unconscious? Let's take a look at what the science says.
Well, right now, there are 3 big theories. First, you've got restoration. Think of it like a full-service repair shop for your body and your brain. Second, there's memory consolidation. This is your brain acting like a personal filing clerk, organizing the day's info. And third is energy conservation. Basically, an ancient strategy to keep our ancestors safe and save calories when it was dark and dangerous. We're going to focus mostly on those first 2 because they have the biggest impact on our lives today.
So during that deep NREM sleep, it's like this ultimate restoration crew clocks in for the night shift. It starts releasing growth hormones, it's replenishing your energy, and this is so crucial. It cleans house. See, all day long, this chemical called adenosine builds up in your brain. That's what makes you feel that sleep pressure, that feeling of needing to sleep. Well, deep sleep is what finally flushes all that gunk out, giving you this deep physical and neurological cleanse.
And then comes REM sleep, and that's all about restoring your mind. This is when your brain gets to work processing everything that happened during the day, strengthening the important connections and getting rid of the weaker ones. And it's not just about facts and figures, it's about processing emotions too. So that all-nighter you pulled before an exam? Yeah, you were literally working against your brain's most effective and natural way to learn. So yeah, this nightly journey is absolutely essential. But what happens when that journey gets disrupted? For millions and millions of people, it's constantly being delayed or cut short or just completely derailed.
And the scale of the problem is just staggering. I mean, just look at these numbers. 2/3 of teens and almost 1/3 of all adults are chronically sleep-deprived. And listen, this isn't just about feeling a little groggy. This has serious consequences for our physical health, our mental performance, and our emotional stability.
And for so many people, this goes way beyond just, staying up too late or having a busy schedule. We're talking about actual clinical sleep disorders. Over 50 million Americans suffer from chronic conditions that physically stop them from getting the deep, restorative sleep their bodies and brains are screaming for.
The one we hear about most is insomnia, that inability to fall or stay asleep, which is so often tied to stress. Then you have something like sleep apnea. This is where a person literally stops breathing over and over, which violently yanks them out of that deep NREM sleep they need so badly. And then there's a much rarer genetic disorder called narcolepsy, where the boundary between being awake and being in REM sleep just collapses.
Okay, so knowing all of this intricate journey, why it's so vital, and how widespread the problems are, how are we supposed to think about our own relationship with sleep? How do we reframe it?
And here's the absolute heart of the matter. So many of us have this bias, right? We think we're the exception. We think, oh, I can get by on 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep, no problem. We almost wear being tired like a badge of honor. But the science could not be more clear. When we do that, we are not thriving. Not even close. We're just functioning at a tiny fraction of our real potential.
So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Sleep is not wasted time. It's an active, incredibly important biological process. NREM sleep is for restoring your body. REM sleep is for restoring your mind. And protecting your sleep is honestly one of the single most powerful things you can do for your overall health.
Think about this for a second. Over an average lifetime, you're going to spend about 26 years asleep. That's just a mind-boggling amount of time. So the final question is, now that you know all this, are you going to keep treating that time as something to cut back on? Or are you going to start treating it like the superpower it really is?